All right, guys, here we're going to talk about another episode of The Walking Dead. Today we'll be talking about episode 7, season 8. And,
hello.
Rick in a fucking cage. I don't know. None of that scene made... I just have to start with, like, that didn't make any sense.
We can do that first, because that's the most fun, I think, to talk about.
It didn't make any sense. So he's in his underwear, in a shipping container.
Yep.
He's a prisoner. The door's open. They quickly start to draw him, and she takes pictures with a camera from, like, 1950 that uses bulbs.
Flash bulbs.
Where do you have a supply of bulbs? She uses 4 on him.
Stefan, she's the mad queen of the Junkrats, and it's the future.
Is infuriating.
And this is suddenly like a Wes Anderson movie or some shit, where like this is. It was so weird. I know why
somebody
this happened.
thought it was cool. Oh yeah, no, they're like an art commune or something.
They're like an art,
and they like lost their ability to speak in sentences because they're dumb. And it's been it's 8 years. It's been millions of years, and they've devolved, but they still have bulbs because they use these ancient cameras because they developed their own. They're really avant-garde.
It's like a hipster maneuver in the apocalypse.
God, it was just so
and like,
dumb.
hey, people can find stuff. You can have an old thing, a weapon, a piece of thing, or an armor, a little toy. Like, totally fine with that. But yes, it just added to like the absurdity and the weirdness of the scene. Like it was meant to be weird. She's sculpting a thing, and she's wearing a fucking smock, and she's doing all that shit. I hate this character.
So as dumb as the light bulb bullshit was, it gets dumber because their plan, we sculpt you after, and then it's like, what are you doing? It's after, and then their plan is to kill him via zombie on a stick.
Zombie on a stick.
Okay, so that's their plan. He's already established they've double-crossed him at one point. They've now tried to murder him again.
Well, no. Let's just like fill out that scene really quick though, because like the theme music from like when Kirk and Spock start to fight must play in someone's head. He's like gladiatoring against these people and using the zombie on his stick, and all this dumb shit's happening. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a million people with guns. No one shoots him.
Yeah, no one
Everything's
shoots him.
Fine.
He's fighting. For some reason, they decide like they take 3 of them in the middle of nowhere to do this.
They don't even like set. Okay, yeah.
It's not like being watched like it's a Coliseum thing.
Because that's what I was getting at. Is like it's a gladiatorial type of vibe that's happening. But yeah, there's no one watching. You'd think people would want to watch, and they don't even lay out. This is our, yes, you will be made into the thing that you hate the most. Or there's no dumb excuse for why this should happen. It's just happening for no reason.
It's an execution, but instead of using the gun, that would have been really easy. You could have shot him when he's in the box. You're like, I know, I'll do this. So that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But it gets dumber. It gets dumber. So he fights off the people. He rips the head off the zombie as a head on the stick. It's on the ground, though. I thought it was going to be a cool thing where he's going to have it bite somebody.
I thought he was going to do something. No, yeah.
It's just on the ground, and he's slowly pushing Junkrat Queen's like head towards it, and like he's like, I'm going to walk out of here now. Why would they ever let that happen?
No idea.
It's so bad. It's like, well, hey, what can we do? How about we just don't write anything? Well, what would happen? Well, we'll just put them there, and whatever happens, happens. What if they're all really bad at improv? That's fine. We'll just go with it.
I would love to believe that this was improv, but it's obviously not improv. It's obviously meticulously worked out. So
his hands are tied.
We'll put aside some of the later dumbness just for this moment, right? Where he's like, I'm going to walk out of here, right? Again, so like, oh, I have leverage on account of your boss is like, here, you're the queen of the Junkrats is
what
like...
What kind of leverage is
that?
that?
Well, and like, what do you expect, right? Well... he's making his case of like, well, my people will kill you if you kill me or whatever. That didn't work before.
Yeah.
There was nothing about that before. So immediately once the like threat to her life is over, there's no reason for any of the underlings or her to make good on this like promise.
Is that not a threat he could have made when he was in the box? My people will kill you. Let me go.
He made that threat like originally, but
why did it stick now? It doesn't make any sense. What is he actually doing? He's laying on top of her, hands bound. And with the ability to push her closer to teeth.
Yeah.
There are 2 men with guns inches from him.
Yep.
Shoot them.
Right.
You win. It's over.
I know.
The whole show's done.
The whole show's over.
Play the credits.
It's been nice. Rick finally taken down by a victim of his own hubris.
Now the Carl show.
Sorry. It's the Carl. I was like, what? It's the Carl show now.
That was dumb.
Okay. But, well, I don't know where you're...
I was going to go into my next dumbest thing of the episode.
Somewhere else, or
I was going to jump light years away.
Okay,
but if you have more things about this particular zone,
we'll like put a pin in that because he then decides to make a deal with them, and they haggle over what percentage, and she's like, I want some of that dick, and he's like, no, a fourth or whatever. This whole fucking thing happens where now he's making another deal with them after all this shit, after he was shot by her and then locked in a shipping container, and like again, so like I like remembered that she had like the hots for him because she's talking to Michonne or something at one point. It's, you know, shit gets weird or something like that, and she wants to sculpt him. So I thought we were gonna do you know, in like a movie where like the evil bad like king of the Junkrats is there, and he has the hots for like one of the female heroines or whatever, and then she's like, well, if you help us, I'll give you everything you want. He's like, oh, and like that sells because he's this like horny idiot or something like that. I thought we were building towards this brilliant inversion of that trope somehow. That was the only thing in my in my mind where there could be some excuse where she's like, well, I need you alive for reasons or something like that. But like, not that could have even worked, but that was the only thing that I thought that we could do here.
Well, why not make that, I'll sculpt you after what? And then like has him tied to a bed or something.
Or, well, fuck, I don't even know. Because then why turn him into a zombie? Because
you would take that.
No, I know.
That part's so dumb.
That's crazy.
Let me pitch you something good instead of this horrible thing you've served up on.
Yeah.
Like, so dumb. Oh, God.
But he makes it, they proceed to make a deal, right? They haggle the same way as before. She wanted all of the Savior's things. And he's like...
Do they even have a lot anymore?
That doesn't even make any sense. What? All of their, like, problems? All of their... Because they only get their things from extorting it from the other people. What things do they have? Workers that are going to be, like, displaced and fucked, and, like, supplies that are admittedly dwindling, but maybe they don't know that.
They don't know that, though.
That's it? That's your whole, like, thing? Fuck. And she wanted 100%. He countered a fourth, then maybe a half, and then a fourth, and she gave in as if he has leverage. The only leverage could be the sausage, but like that's not even on the table anymore because he looks at her like she's Kimmy Gibbler. Get the fuck off of me! What's wrong with you or whatever? It's ridiculous.
No, there's a lot of issues.
I rest my case.
There's a lot of issues with this. And why do they even need the Junkrats?
At this point, why delay the plan and get locked in a shipping container?
At the moment Rick is making this deal, he's all but won, at least as far as he sees it.
Yeah.
And if you've all but won, and you only stand to then be double-crossed again potentially by someone who's double-crossed you again, your plan should be, all right, at dawn, we destroy the Junkrats. Like, they seemingly only have the guns you've already given them. They had nothing before this.
I liked your plan of barter with them, get them to help you, say, okay, wait here, I'll be right back, and then blow something up and kill them.
Well, they already did a thing where they were like, okay, ride in the back of this garbage truck. Like, that was the thing, right? Yeah. Bicycles and garbage trucks. I'd be like, get in the back of the garbage truck, and then pull a Casey Jones. Oops.
Yeah. No, and just literally something, right, to make it make sense. Because again, like, Rick is a leader here, like... Remember, I was joking, like, no, next episode something will happen. He'll be like, my plan's working perfectly. Some dumb shit. Yeah. You don't have a plan. You're half naked in a shipping container. This is horrible. Like in a world where, like, life is so fragile and, like, risk is so important, and you are, like, a leader and, like, the only hope for so many people, and you have, like, a mission. You want revenge. You want to, like, save everyone. You want to kill Negan. But first, then you go to do this. I'm so upset, Stefan. I'm so upset.
It's goofy as fuck. The next goofiest
you were going to go light years away, though.
The next goofiest thing ever is Eugene. You cut to Eugene.
This is a Eugene-heavy episode.
It is, and I like Eugene.
Yeah. I'm just happy to
just
go back
going to jump a little deep into Eugene's plot here. Eugene is making a motorized airplane iPod thing that will blast music at a rapid 90 decibels.
It's my musical glider.
So if you just think about it, you ever been in a crowd in your whole life?
Never, Stefan. I stay in the house at all
Let
times.
me explain how crowds work. So you could have a lot of people making minimal amounts of noise, but it collects. It's like a lunchroom where everyone's talking at a moderate pace, but it becomes very loud.
I just started having PTSD flashbacks to the lunchroom.
So like it would be very loud. 90 decibels is not that loud. It's like the start of like, ear damage, I believe.
Yeah, it's at that point.
But it's not that loud. I know this because I had a computer fan that was 70 decibels that ran all the time, and it was just like... So over a crowd of zombies at a height of at least 30 feet, I don't even know they would notice that.
I don't even know that the necessary, because speakers are heavy. and the thing that makes the noise is some sort of magnet that's heavy. And there's very small speakers from the boombox or whatever. But part of what makes the sound work is the shape of the boomboxes, like
and it's just an open cone, like
yeah. So just an open cone. I mean, dumb things are dumb, and this didn't do anything, so I guess it's fine or something like that.
Yeah.
But yes,
I think though, as a smart man, that plan didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's an alternate reality where nothing makes sense. Like the premise of it, I'm not gonna fix your radio. I'm gonna use your radio and this kite and fucking popsicle sticks, and I'm gonna make a way to get us out of here. Like that was okay, but yeah, it's completely ridiculous to think that that's gonna be loud enough to make a difference. I think practically you can't get enough sound making things into a big enough thing at like any scale to make it fly, but hey, we're doing it. It's fine. What would you have liked to happen instead? Do you have an alternate reality theory? Something?
Instead, let's just say I have to pitch something dumb real quick. We're in an elevator. The meeting is at the bottom floor. I have 3 floors to think of something. I'd be like, all right. So we already said we want to do like a plane. Well, that'd be really terrible to make sound. How about maybe we covered it in something flammable and we just start a fire somewhere else.
Okay.
We've noticed that they're drawn to explosions or something.
While you were thinking of that, here's a pitch. So Dwight is like the bow guy, right?
Sure.
Okay. Eugene's like the smart guy. Eugene has leverage over Dwight because he knows that he's like dirty. So he's like, "You're gonna help me with this, execution of this plan or whatever." He has to shoot an arrow to something across like the courtyard or like something like that. And then the thing is not a kite. It's like a thing with like wheels that goes on like the zip line or whatever.
Okay.
And tries to make noise that way.
Well, that would be better because you could potentially have an extension cord long enough that you could actually just run it
solves
powered.
several of the problems, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get all this tension as Dwight's like, I don't really want this plan to work. How can I fuck up the plan? And you can kind of do everything that you did around that instead, though.
Yeah. He could just like miss with the arrow. Or like it humorously like hits a walker and the walker's just like walking with the arrow.
I don't know. There has to be something for him to hit to it. It's like the Spider-Man in the country problem. But I don't know. It just occurred to me. Something get rid of the glider.
Annoys me. And seemingly the way they did get out of this is they just used all their bullets and shot everything.
Oh, yeah, so we don't even know, right?
They don't show it.
Like, we should say, I guess, Junkrats are on board. They're wearing their going out clothes with Rick. Rick climbs the tower. What's going on over here? How's my
But he's on the radio. They had eyes in the sky. So like you have
things come to a
boil. The Savior's
yet.
base is surrounded by zombies, and then you have lookouts that are monitoring the station. At least one point, you had a truck drive into it, so like we know that our people are around it. Now, when they just start shooting, would they not notice it?
Was that dead guy a good guy? Like what's
happening?
Had to have
been, right?
Because it says snipers, right? And that's him talking to Morgan's team of snipers.
I believe.
Right. So I was like, and like forgive me for asking obvious questions, but sometimes I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. I must have missed something. I must be lost.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
I must not have the right idea here. So yeah, then no one answers, right? Does that mean more things have happened off camera to Morgan and his team?
Yeah, and Morgan's team of snipers must be dead.
And there's 0 zombies there, right?
So did you also like how that truck they drove into the wall?
It's just a painting of the Savior compound with a truck. There was just nothing there. Yeah.
The truck hits the wall. And let's say it does puncture through the wall. The truck was still it was still like a cork blocking the top of a bottle.
Exactly.
How did all the zombies get in?
That's a perfect analogy. I was going to say most of the hole that the truck makes is filled with truck.
Yeah.
So and then it cuts to the interior and there's a giant jagged white void of nothingness, which again television, hey, thing you have to do.
Could have easily solved that for me with saying, "All right, we've loaded the truck with explosives. We're ready to go."
Yeah.
And they've proven to do that type of thing before.
Yeah.
That it would not be any crazier than what happened.
That would even answer the question of the Savior's guns and explosives were destroyed in that other thing, but doesn't Rick have more? We used all of our explosives on this, right? And that takes away the whole thing of why don't we just use explosives later, right?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff happening.
You wouldn't have to worry about the truck
that
there
I keep
anymore.
being like, what are you doing? Why?
I know, it's very upsetting.
And why? I understand why they didn't show it because they can't afford to show us this cool thing. But I'm like, that would have been the best part of the episode. Them just walking out mowing down fucking people ha. How many zombies are there? What keeps zombies outside the base if they couldn't penetrate at the moment? Is there no sound in the world?
Well, okay.
Are they just waiting forever?
Now we're getting into like the logic of zombies and how they work, specifically in this universe or whatever the fuck, and it's all over the place. I don't know. Because sometimes a zombie, once it's on something, just stays on that until it is acted upon by an outside force, like forever. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, we'll wait them out and they'll leave, and they do, or something. And yeah, you could say maybe there's some other noises, some other things, right? Whatever the fuck. I don't know. I really thought that when they drop in the dialogue, that speaker truck almost fucked us over or something like that when it barely left the other place. So I was like, what's happening here? Like they could have made it out to be that things were not stable there and they were going to leave at any moment, so we have to act or something like that. It didn't really sell me on that idea.
I don't know.
Also, once there's a large enough pile of zombies at the bottom of a staircase, can't the zombies not get through it and like you're just safe forever? Isn't that what happens?
Or they just slowly work their way over it until they don't even need a staircase. They could use the bodies.
That's just like a hill. Eventually, yes, but I don't know. The bottom of that staircase looked like a clusterfuck, and I was like, "You're safe again." And that cuts to Eugene, just going crazy and all that stuff. And I'm like, "Eugene, these are zombies. You've been around, all right? Come on."
Yeah, Eugene chugs his little bottle of juice. What do you call it? ZZ juice or sleepy juice or whatever the fuck you call it?
Giggle juice.
Giggle juice. And then he vomits a very tiny bit of yoo-hoo, and then drinks more of it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what is happening with this character?
Well, okay, so this was a Eugene-heavy episode. I liked that. I liked that we got to really get into Eugene's like headspace or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
And I was on like, so this is what I wanted to happen. Honestly, I wanted Eugene to have to choose and to make, because again, like other shows that we watch, Twilight Zone, something like that. I'm really into showing like man's own hubris and the greed and the selfishness and how it fail. Like not that it's a morality thing, but that it's like people do things that are reasonable for people to do, but are ugly. And then the ugliness comes back at them or something like that. So part of this whole show is about Rick's team being, either fucked over or like rewarded for trying to do the right thing, and like other people who are doing the wrong thing being like punished or something like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted Eugene to be like, I think we said 20 episodes ago or whatever this started, it'd be totally reasonable for Eugene to be like, this is all right. Fuck. Like I'm like,
it's been good to him, better to him than when it was, but it's getting worse dramatically.
And he should kind of be able to see that. But the
downturn is happening.
But they made this out to be like emotional, which makes sense, right?
I think it could be an issue is that maybe Eugene, much like the audience, has no idea how many saviors or workers or how good the world could be there. Yeah, because there's between 10 and 4,000 people at this base.
Right, and I'm gonna call it a Grammy lock. I need your pickles. Yeah. Like he's just interacting with them on certain levels and doesn't know.
It drives me nuts, the whole scale thing. And did you catch there was like a little like next time on The Walking Dead, like. They said some things, and I'm like, are those replaying from old episodes, or is this new episodes where it's like, more people are coming, this, we blocked the supply roads, but not from people, like...
Oh, God, no, what are you talking about?
There was some weird statement, like, we blocked supplies from getting in, but we didn't block people, like something like that was said.
Lord.
And I'm like, are there 17 more outposts? Like, is Negan just the Negan of the transatlantic north? Like, you
gotta find Mega Negan now!
Well, something that I think would be amazing... and please God, don't do this. But I think it would be amazing if there's hundreds of outposts all across America, and all the leaders, as well as all the people, call themselves Negan. And there's different tiers of Negan, like a pyramid scheme cult. And then eventually, in season 48, you meet Negan Ultimate or like definitive Negan.
Negan Prime.
Yeah, Negan Prime.
Alpha. Negan, and Negan stands for something, and it's Mecha Negan, and they fight. Yeah. It's like Rick's cobbled together ugly robot, and then Negan's like sleek space fighter robot. No, so I still like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I like him being like, if this goes south, people are gonna die. Not me. I'm way too good at this shit. But you and everybody else are gonna die. I like shit like that. I like that he's a fucking asshole in all like respects. I don't know how.
Kind of honest.
I don't know how Eugene's synonymous. If you're being an asshole, being honest unnecessarily or whatever. 100%. It's a spectrum. But I don't know why Eugene's fooling him. Like there's been like fake tense moments, but I don't feel like there's any real tension there. It just seems like Negan's totally falling for Eugene's right, and like in the end he does side with Negan, but there's been weird times in like the middle.
Yeah,
it seems strange to me. Like, how could Negan have gotten this far and have such a large network of such horrible characters, and now like he's met his match with Eugene, who like is like one step ahead or something like that?
There's probably a lot to do with it just being very poorly written. I think that hides a lot of the sins with more sin.
Oh, not until the last moment of that sentence did I know that it was a trap. It was perfect.
It's because it's true. They're definitely falling off at a certain point, and I'm hoping that this is all going to culminate in something even worse. I think I would like for the fans. I think if you make this season end in a way where everybody's angry and you've not really done anything good, that it will force the next season to be great, or potentially lose the show.
Well, I wonder how many, like, the way, like, inertia and stuff works, momentum, right? Often a show is allowed to continue, because it's still technically making money or whatever.
This is still one of the most popular shows on TV, so, like, it will make money for a while, but I think you'll get enough people. They're not dumb. They're like we're not getting the same viewers. People hate this shit. Blah, blah, blah. They're watching it because they make fun of it. Like something has to happen, and then be like, oh,
who would watch this show to make fun of it? That's ridiculous.
And I don't want to make fun of this show.
No, that's
I
what
want
we're doing.
to love it. I love this show, but it's not a good. It's not been good for a while.
No, and like I've been saying for a few episodes here and there, I've been like referencing older things, or there's been little moments where I was like, yeah, I like that. That was awesome. That speech that person gave, or that thing that they said, or those zombies in that scene were so good, or whatever the fuck, right? Like, I'm trying to seize on to stuff that I do like.
What if the season ends and
it's all a dream, Stefan?
I was just gonna say,
it's all a dream.
And it's a Rick. He's like, oh,
and that's what would have happened.
And he looks over, and Glenn's there, like, what's up, buddy?
That would be awesome. No, like he keeps saying Negan in his sleep. What does Negan mean? And someone sees it in like a mirror. What's Negan backwards? Sorry, I don't know either. Oh my god.
Negan backwards is Negan.
No, no, it
was ours the whole time.
They blew it up. So we've been not mentioning this. So like, okay, next episode's episode 8.
Yes,
mid-season finale.
Mid-season finale.
Right? The zombies are gone outside. Something's going to happen. All of our main speaking characters, all of our non-red shirts are kind of in the same place. Even like Michonne and Rosita, who were like hanging back, found a way to get to like the front line. Everyone's kind of grouped together. Carol and the King are going to show up or something like that, right?
No.
No, they're done?
No. Here's what's going to happen.
Are we done?
Prediction.
Oh, God.
Next episode, mid-season finale, is going to be a Carl-heavy episode. It's going to be him and his new like Pakistani friend. And
they're gonna go grab a
they're
curry.
They're gonna be back at Alexandria playing pinochle.
Great. No, Uno.
Or the
game
for cans of peaches.
Or the game where you put a card on your head that had something written on it that no one else can see and you have to guess.
Oh, what the hell's that game?
Spot the something.
I forgot.
Okay, but I was gonna say, so like this is like the finale, right? In the premiere, like the finale is coming up next, right? In the premiere, we had like Jedi Rick from the future in like the happy place where like another one rides the bus is playing, and like Weird Eye looking like dying or sick or like fucked up Rick, in like a stained glass window.
Prediction:
and all that shit.
We'll never see any of that again.
Do you think like whatever writer like wanted that to happen
dead.
was just like, fuck this for the last time, you idiot.
They took him outside, and they had a zombie on a stick.
They're still fighting now. This was filmed 6 months ago, but they're still fighting to this day or whatever. No, I don't. I have because like how's that going to come into play? Why would you show us a like future back or future front to like something that like can't possibly be in the show? You can't have gray-haired old Rick with like 10-year-old Judith like show up at like some point.
Oh, but they can. And
can they just keep having that? So, like, what I'm asking is, I wonder if we'll finally see a callback to that in the mid-season to then set up the callback.
I think you will only see a callback to it at the very end of the season.
Episode 16, you think?
Yeah, something stupid.
That's fine, too. I wonder, though...
Bookend it.
Well, because the way that, like, they are doing bad things, but they are also, I think, paying attention to, like, well, Daryl's really popular, we're going to do this or whatever. I don't think that, like, the team would be okay with, like, we can't have a 15-episode gap for that shit. Like, the audience is going to forget it. So we have to, like, remind them or something like that. That's the only thing that I could see being in this. So I wonder if this is going to be a really weird episode with, like, trippy side things that I usually like, but this one, I don't know what they're trying to go for here in the next episode.
I predict we'll walk away unsatisfied. There'll be one cool thing.
Okay.
And maybe a death.
I was going to say, do you think someone dies, and if so, who?
I think there might be a death.
Daryl.
No.
They'll never kill
Maybe
Daryl,
they'll put a scenario where you think Daryl might be dead or like injured
Yeah.
or something, and it won't be.
Well, someone has to die, and
He'll be under a dumpster for 4 episodes.
Unfortunately, I think that with Dwight and/or Eugene, we have characters that could redemptively die and count like, hey, we killed somebody, guys.
I could honestly
but
see
not
both
be a
of
man.
them die.
Yeah, and not have it be.
Yeah.
I think Negan obviously does not die.
No,
Rick and all those guys will never die, and they will continue forward to like the end of the whole season. Season 8. The best season. We'll look back on this as the best season.
Oh, God. Wouldn't that be something if somehow that happened? No.
I wonder if in whatever 20 years it's going to be like, yeah, the first couple seasons are okay and then whatever. Or if they'll just be like, it turns out that show is never good. It turns out, because stuff now that's happening makes me wonder if the show was ever good. It makes me wonder. Because there's not even a spark oftentimes of like the kind of writing or the kind of human stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because like there were bad seasons that had like marks of like Herschel giving the speech and like Rick biting that guy's throat out that was gonna fucking when Carl was gonna get raped or something like that.
Yeah.
There were these interesting dark shitty things, the cannibalism stuff or whatever at Terminus. Like there have been moments and like look at the flowers and shit like that. There have been things that have come up that have been like, holy shit, dude, this is some good ass television. And now we're just dumpstering and driving and making deals and driving somewhere else, and we got to go back to that place. Which place? I don't know. We're here now. How'd you get there?
I think you gotta. Once we get past this season, hopefully there's no savior business anymore. Meet a new crazy enemy that has some other weird thing, and like just hopefully get some new good stuff.
What could they do at this point though? Space aliens arrive.
You can do that's what's so annoying is you can do anything. You could literally do anything. You have the whole America to go through. We can go to different states. We can do different things. Like if this all ends up in a wash, all depending on how this episode ends, this is done. Oh, this is whatever. Oh, this and that. A roaming brand of military. This and that. Or whatever. Oh, we have a cure. We don't have a cure of this. Like, there's all these different worlds you can go in.
Because that was the formula, right? We had a spot. We then went to the prison. We then had the thing with the governor before that, and then we had the prison more, and then we have Alexandria. The formula is supposed to be, we always think that we can find safety in this crazy world. Something ruins it and we have to move on.
Yeah.
Right? And meanwhile, we always want this cure. Right? But they dropped the thing with the cure. That's over. And they dropped seemingly the thing with having to move on. Because now we have multiple settlements. They'd all have to move on. If any settlement got fucked,
or by the end of this, there's not that many people.
Or something, right? And it doesn't make sense or whatever. I think that they'll, I don't know. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Is like, what if it is a huge reinforcement thing? Like, there is a whole nother like if the savior's like zone like that big base is the big base and there's lots of satellite bases around it. What if there's another big base somewhere that's coming over here?
I guess, but they haven't dropped. It's
not good.
It's been very unclear.
It could be. Yes.
Yes.
Are we shooting at people or glass? Both. I don't know. Neither. Nothing. This show doesn't design things well. There's no setup.
Hey guys, do we need coverage from like inside the building of the Saviors shooting back?
We have no people for that.
No, we do. No. Listen, Bob. Listen. We're just going to put muzzle flashes occasionally in the windows. It's going to be fine. That isn't the focus of this. Right. The focus is on our it's character driven. It doesn't matter whether the audience knows what the fuck is going on, like overall or in individual scenes. They'll figure it out. It's fine. Carl, it's fine. We'll just do that. Memes. We need some memes. We need some awesome shots.
Yeah. So predictions poorly.
Predictions. I can't wait though for something maybe to happen in episode 8 for like a punctuating moment of a thing.
With any luck. But I
look forward to this disappointment, guys.
That's kind of what happened this episode. That's kind of what the thoughts are for the next episode. Let us know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.